Well, howdy partners, it's your old buddy the Reddit Rider, and welcome back to the Reddit Ranch. Why don't y'all come in and sit a spell, 'cause I got some mighty fine tales to tell. Like our first story today, it's about a little lady that wants to know if it was okay to give her best friend crap for flaunting her money and calling her a gold digger. Wait a second. You do that with your friends? Good lord ma'am, what do you say to enemies?
AITA for telling my friend to stop flaunting her money and calling her a gold digger? I'm a 39-year-old woman, and I have been BFFs with Jill since we were in high school. Between the two of us, she's always been a bombshell. Blonde, tall, slim, big chest, etc. She never dated anyone in high school, which was weird to me because almost everyone in our school did, including myself. When we were in college and she was still turning guys down, I asked her why and she said she wants someone who is financially stable. I laughed it off at the time. I should also mention she grew up poor, as in her mother was going to the food bank poor. After we graduated, she got a job at a gym teaching yoga. I continued my education to be a teacher. She eventually met someone at the gym and he's rich, like I can't even comprehend the kind of money this guy has. Fast forward to now, they're married with 2 kids and I believe she signed a prenup when they married. We were out to dinner on the Saturday that just passed with 2 other friends from college, and she wanted to go to a very expensive place. Her treat. She does this a lot. Flaunts her money, clothes, trips, etc. etc. I always try to smile and ignore it, but it has been slowly bothering me. The dinner was going fine until one of our friends, Amanda, asked Jill what she was planning for her birthday. Jill said her and her husband are going to Greece for 3 weeks. Amanda and Sharon both made comments about how nice and lovely that is, and I kind of scoffed at it. When Jill asked me what was wrong, I admittedly lost it. I told her I'm tired of her flaunting her money at everyone all the time, and everyone knows she only married her husband for money. It got really quiet for a couple of seconds, and to my surprise, Jill very calmly asked if that's what everyone really thought. I said yes. Jill then asked if it was at all possible that she initially dated him for his money but fell in love with him along the way. Both our other friends said of course. At the same time I said no. I told her she fell in love with what he can provide for her. She then asked me if I love what my boyfriend provides for me, which I was different because I never started dating him for those things. She countered that with, of course you did. If you were just attracted to him but he wasn't loving, providing, caring, you wouldn't still be in a relationship with him, and if you were, it would be an unhappy and unhealthy one. I argued it's still not the same thing. She then stood up and said she has other places to be and not to worry about the bill. She left and the 3 of us finished our meal in silence. When the server came around, he handed me the bill for my meal only. She paid for herself and the other 2 but left me to pay for an almost $50 meal that I really couldn't afford. I texted her and called her an AH. She replied saying not to message her again until I apologize for my earlier comments. I admit I might have been too hard, but I don't think I'm wrong. So AITA?
Well, ma'am, one of the biggest problems I have with some teachers is that they quite often don't have enough intelligence to admit when they are wrong. And yes, you are the varmint in this story. You come off as being intensely jealous of your friend, and then you get mad at her for making you pay for your own meal. And to top it all off, you not only insult a friend, but then, you have the gall to speak on behalf of your other friends. I reckon that you need to apologize to all 3 of your friends. Okay partners. What's your thoughts on this story? Do you think she was in the right to call out her friend like that, or do you think she spoke from a place of jealousy? Let me know please. Our next story was posted by a filly that has a boyfriend who wants her to give him $1,500 for a Halloween costume. Wait, what? What the hell was this costume made from? Gold?
My boyfriend asked me for $1,500 to buy a Halloween costume. I'm 22, and my boyfriend is 26, and we have been together for around 4 years. I recently was asked by him if he could get a personal loan under my name so that he could buy a Halloween costume. I am feeling a bit unsure of how upset I should be or if I even should be upset about it. To explain his current situation, he currently has around $5,000 worth of debt and does not have a job and lives off of payments from the government currently. When he originally asked, I got quite upset since for the last year his financial situation has continued to get worse as I currently pay for his groceries and essentials, and without aid doesn't have basic essentials like toilet paper or soap, let alone food, and can only meet the payments of his rent at the moment. When he asked me for the loan, it was about $1,500, and he wanted to have me open a personal loan since no financial lenders would give him any more money than he currently has on loan. I don't know why I felt like it was my breaking point, but I just cried and told him he was childish for asking me for money to buy something so stupid, and haven't spoken to him for the last couple days. He asked me for money when he already relies on me to buy his groceries and is in so much debt from buying video games and action figures. I'm struggling to figure out what to even do or say to him. The reason he wants to borrow so much from me is for more of the same non-essential things that got him into debt in the first place. A custom-made Halloween costume seems like an outrageous thing to want to purchase in his current situation. But he doesn't see it as a big deal since, in his words, it's not a lot of money for you, and I think I just need advice on what approach might work to help him understand. No matter how much I have tried to explain, the strain of his dependence on me to support him with his basic needs has been when we don't live together. And despite me trying to suggest loan consolidation or a selected person to manage his funds on his behalf could benefit him, I feel like my approach isn't working. I would appreciate advice on what steps I can take or what approach I might be able to use instead in regard to talking to him and trying to resolve this issue in our relationship currently.
Wow, ma'am, $1,500 for a Halloween costume? The only way it would be worth that is if he was going out as your old buddy Reddit writer. Anyway, when it comes to your boyfriend, if he wants $1,500 for a costume, then you could just tell him to sell some of his toys or games. Failing that, I'd leave him. I mean, it kinda sounds like he is using you, like some sort of walking talking ATM or something. Well now, partners, by a show of hands, who here would shell out $1,500 for a Halloween costume when you can't even afford to put food on your table? Anyone? Anyone? No? I didn't think so. Let me know what y'all reckon she should do with Mr. Wonderful. Next we have one from a lady whose fiancé is messing around on her with a woman who has passed away. Oh good lord, partners, I sure hope this story ain't as gross as it sounds.
My fiancé is having an affair with a woman who has passed away. Here's my dilemma. Do I postpone my wedding and give us a shot to work this out, or do I run for the hills? I'm wondering if I'm completely missing his perspective on all of this. My fiancé is 40 and I'm 30, and we have been together for 9-ish years. A year or two through our relationship, we spent some time apart, as I felt he had an inappropriate relationship with a co-worker, both realtors. We ended up getting back together, but he continued to sleep with her during the first few months of us trying to work things out. We did work things out. The infidelity isn't as big of an issue for me as it is for other people. I quickly felt trust with him again and things were great. The issue of the affair has rarely come up since we talked through our resolution years ago. 6-ish years later we got engaged. Almost a year after that, his girlfriend passed away. Excuse my cold tone with this, but to me she is not a good person, and I will never see her in that light. I found out she had a fetish for taken men, and she played a big role in the end of 4 others' marriages. My fiancé went to the funeral and spoke, at her parents' request, despite my expressing how hurtful and disrespectful that was in my eyes. In the months following her passing, he has participated in fundraising held in honor of this woman. I have continued to express how hurtful and disrespectful I find his involvement in all of this. I'm capable of, and have, moving on and forgiving him for the original affair, but when he keeps doing things that bring it to the forefront of our relationship, I can't help but to feel hurt by it. There is a messy history, after all. I feel like I have sacrificed so much, sat back and been the one to bend and compromise on everything surrounding her and these situations, and I can't see anything that is compromised on when it comes to it. All I see is an inappropriate, and disrespectful emotional connection to his passed-away girlfriend. There was a small fundraising dinner in her honor the other night, and this is where things really hit the fan. I again expressed my feelings on the situation, especially since he didn't tell me until an hour before he was going to leave to attend. He said I need to get over the affair and stop holding it over his head, and I need to figure my stuff out. He wishes I could see his perspective, because I wouldn't be upset if I stepped back and saw his side of things, yet he couldn't articulate his perspective. He also said he was sick of my meritless threats, after I said, if he's going to continue to have an inappropriate emotional connection with his passes-away girlfriend and bring it to the forefront of our lives together, that I couldn't live the rest of my life like that. He said he has the right to honor a good friend, and that she always had his back even after he chose me. This has really caught me off guard the past year. I thought there was no connection to her anymore. I also thought I had a partner that would care enough about my feelings to be willing to change some of their actions. I know I would feel awful if he came to me and said that something I was doing was hurtful to him, and he found it disrespectful. I'm getting none of that from him.
Well, I'm so sorry to have to tell you this, ma'am, but the best advice I could give is to leave him now. In fact, I plumb reckon you should have left the varmint when the affair first came to light. You seem to put all the blame on the mistress, but it does take two to tango. She owed you nothing, not loyalty, or trust. He does. You said she ain't a good woman, well, neither is he. His affair probably lasted right up to her passing, and probably would be continuing on to this very day if she had lived. If I were you, I would not be surprised if he cheats again, because he assumes that you won't do anything about it. Well, partners, I'm not going to ask any of you what you should do with him, because I'm fairly sure I know what the answer would be. But I would like to know, have any of you ever been messed around on, and if so, was there anything weird about it? Please, let me know. Our last story from the old Reddit trail is from a soon-to-be bride, whose sister refuses to attend the wedding unless the bride changes the start time so that it doesn't interfere with her son's nap time. Really? I reckon the bride's sister is the one that needs a nap.
AITA for telling my sister the world doesn't revolve around her and her son? I'm 24, and I am getting married to my fiancé in October this year. We got engaged in January and couldn't be more excited. It's a very small wedding and we're only inviting close family and friends. The problem is with my sister Lisa. Lisa has a 2-year-old son with her husband. I don't have a super affectionate relationship with Lisa for multiple reasons that I can't fit into this post. We sent out the wedding invites last month. Our wedding ceremony starts at 1:30 p.m. and we asked our guests to please arrive at the venue by 1 o'clock. The venue is in our hometown, so is close by to the majority of the people in our guest list, including Lisa. Lisa told me that the time wouldn't work because of her 2-year-old's nap schedule. She said he takes a nap at 12 and that she's not forcing him to be awake so she can get him ready for the event or he will be a terror. I don't have kids, but I thought this was a silly reason. I asked Lisa if she could find a babysitter and she said she can't because everyone she trusts will be at the wedding. I suggested that they at least attend the reception, but she said she won't if she can't be at the wedding. She told me she won't attend the wedding unless we change the time. I told her we can't do that. Lisa said she's not going then. I was quite hurt by this. I wasn't sure how to react in the moment, so I just abruptly ended the conversation with an excuse. A few days later Lisa asked me if I thought about her suggestion. I reminded her there's no way we can change the time. She told me she hopes I'm happy that they aren't attending and said that everyone is going to ask why she's not there and it's all because I can't accommodate my nephew. I snapped at her and told her the world doesn't revolve around her and her son. She called me a bridezilla and has blocked me. My mom is pestering me to make amends with Lisa, but I just don't think I'm in the wrong.
No ma'am, you ain't a varmint, you are right, you can't change the start time just to accommodate one guest, not even your sister. Whether or not she is there is completely on her. I mean, she could shift his nap schedule around slightly, like laying him down for his nap a little bit earlier. And as for you having to explain to other guests why your sister isn't there, just tell them that your sister couldn't be there because your wedding was interfering with nappy time. Well now partners, after reading that, I reckon I'm the one that needs a nap. Anyway, what do y'all think she should do about her sister? Should she change the time so her nephew can get his nap in? Or should she just ignore her request and proceed as planned without her sister? Please let me know in their comments. Well partners, I do plumb reckon that it's time for this good old boy to ride off into the sunset. But if y'all enjoyed y'all's time at the Reddit Ranch, then I'd thank y'all kindly to hit like and subscribe. It'll really make this old cowboy smile. Until the next time we meet, adios.